The Bears.
Because of the way they play the nickel corner here, and the nickel corner plays 88-85% of the snaps. He's got to be like part linebacker.
The Bears.
When you're in a scouting room, there's going to be differences of opinion.
The Bears.
Well, you're looking at traits. And remember when he tested very, very well.
The Bears.
Greg, why are teams wrong on quarterback evaluation so up?
Number one, it's a hard position to evaluate.
Former Bears scouting director Greg Gabriel talks football live every week on the Barroom Network. Also available on demand.
Look, I think it's a good time to be a Chicago Bears fan. There's a lot to be excited about. But let me tell you something. We are past the point of excuses. If things go sour, you have used up all of the patience that Chicago has to offer.
The following program is rated TV MALV. It contains strong language, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Here we go, Barflies. Welcome to the Barfly Tailgate Show. You already know what's done by Barflies for Barflies and all the other Bears fans out there. What's going on, everybody? My man Tooch, my man C-Dub from across the pond, and my man KB is fashionably running late, but he will be here nevertheless. How we doing today, Tooch? I'll pass to you first. I do want to say before I get started, I listened to a little bit of your betting tips on Friday, or I tried to. The third guy, the bald guy on the end, I don't know what his name was, but Sean, man, he was just rubbing me the wrong way the whole show.
I was like, he thinks the Bears are bad this year.
But he's dogging Caleb, and then he was like he was bad in college. I'm like, this dude won the fucking Heisman. What is this guy talking about?
He's trolling a Bears.
Well, fan. It's fucking working. Yeah. But how you doing, brother?
I'm hanging in there. We got a big Kentucky Wildcat win, the first time they won in Oxford, Mississippi since 1978, almost 50 years ago.
Yep. Well,
hey, number 6 Ole Miss goes down. Mark Stoops has got to be happy. I tell you, Van de Graaff looks like he's like 30 years old, too. It's like
he's got a belt clip for his phone, so he is maybe 30.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I didn't get a chance to watch a lot of college football. Unfortunately, I had to go to a used car lot and buy a used car because someone hit my car, and they won't fix it. They totaled it. So, unfortunately, I was test driving a bunch of cars. Ended up buying a car yesterday, so stressful. And, the best place to buy them in central Iowa is to drive to Cedar Falls. It's like 100 miles from Des Moines. Drove up there. They have like 1 million used cars. So I settled in on like 4 cars, that wanted all-wheel drive and an SUV. Ended up getting a Ford Escape 2021 hybrid. Nice. Really good. Bronze fire color. It's kind of an odd color, but the wife and I, we can't go down to one car because I'm taking the bus then every day, and it's almost winter, so it's like, we went when we're gonna have two cars again. So, but doing good. Looking forward to. I think the Bears have a great chance to win today, in spite of all that's been going wrong.
Yeah.
I'll break it down
I'm
later.
glad you were able to find a vehicle, Tooch. We went to a comedy show last night, me and the wife. It was pretty good, but I did watch quite a bit of college ball. Of course, I watched my Wildcats pull off the victory against Ole Miss. It was the biggest upset in Kentucky football since 1977 when they beat then ranked number 4 Penn State. So on the road anyway. So that was crazy to see. And then, like I told you before we got on here, I had a parlay going with and Alabama finished it off for me last night. So I know our chat doesn't love college football talk, but I'm really excited. I'm happy to see. Like I told Chris before we got on, Kentucky lost to South Carolina and looked ugly. And then they had Georgia and Ole Miss coming up. So everybody was like, it would have been so easy for this team to just quit, fold it in, pack it away. You know what I'm saying? But they showed up. They played Georgia close, lost by 1. Then they go down to Oxford and beat Ole Miss. I couldn't be more proud as a Kentucky Wildcat fan today.
Yeah.
My man KB is in here. The man from South Bend. Shout out to South Bend and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. L's down over here. Let's go. What's going on, KB? How you doing this morning?
What's good, brother? Man, I have been sitting here trying to get into this damn live, and I'm putting in the wrong stuff. I'm like, bro, I can't get into the goddamn the chat. Man, what's going on? Yeah, I was missing one letter in the beginning. It's all bad. Yeah, yesterday for me, I was happy for you as a fan. Good for you. I know you hate Louisville, being a Kentucky guy. I know how it is, man. So, I'm happy for you. Yesterday was very interesting for me. Very, very interesting for me. We had a work get together, sort of, kind of thought I was gonna have to work it. Didn't have to work it. So I ended up just drinking. Tailgate, of course. Day did not play out the way I wanted it to play out. I got pulled up on. Man, listen. Threw up on. My car died on me yesterday. Got down. It's raining. I had to walk 5 blocks to get back to my car. Bro, yesterday was horrible. Okay. Horrible. But happy for Kentucky. Happy for Kentucky.
And before we went live, I was talking to Chris about yesterday and stuff, and he is a Kentucky fan now. And I said, well, it's easy to remember him because it's UK, University of Kentucky, so it wouldn't be hard for you to remember your favorite football team. And it's not like he's really jumping on the bandwagon because we're not Georgia or anything, But Chris, how was your week, brother? How you doing?
Well, my week's been a bit weird, man. I turned 51 on Wednesday, which has completely bummed me out because it made me realise now that 9 years' time I'm going to be 60. So turning 51 is probably one of the most, boring, sort of depressing birthday numbers to turn. Nobody ever goes to you, hey, you turned 51, that's fucking great, happy birthday. So I managed to get through that, and I've made some big life decisions in the last couple of days, so I'm on a bit of a detox at the moment. I'm going through a bit of a recovery. You all know that I'm a bit of a naughty boy. So I started that this weekend, so I've just been throwing up for the last 2 days. So if I collapse or run off, it means I'm going to the toilet. But apart from that, bring it on, mate. It's fucking game day, innit? How poorly and ill I feel, game day just gets me fucking blood going, man, and talking to you boys. Because about half an hour ago, I was thinking, man, I don't know if I could do this. My head's all over the place. I feel like shit. And then I just thought, no, do it, man. It'll make you feel so much better. And we've been doing it for 10 minutes and I feel great. So it's fantastic.
You come in to your therapy session if you're not feeling great.
Right,
I mean, man. 51 may not be much to most people, but to Bears fans, that's Buckus.
Yes.
Happy Buckus birthday, C-Dub. That's awesome.
That's such a good call, Lacey.
Hey man, you rocking the buckets, I'm rocking the Walter Payton, baby. You know what I'm saying? Big 3-4 over here, baby. Old as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm 36, so I'm Owens, I think is right where.
Yeah.
And Tucci
I'm not gonna comment.
Tucci still in double numbers.
Oh yeah. Yep.
But we'll get in here and talk a little bit about the game last week. Didn't fare the way we had hoped. Obviously, the Indianapolis Colts didn't do anything to, in my opinion, they didn't really beat us as much as we beat ourselves. Anthony Richardson tried his best to give us that game. He threw us 3 interceptions. Our defense is playing great. There's no two ways about it. That is a Super Bowl caliber defense. We just need the offense to do something, anything. The biggest moment for me last week, and my wife can attest to this, when we had 1st and goal from the 4, we ran a wildcat formation. You pick up 3, and I'm like, okay, you paid all these tight ends. We pay a fullback. We're one of the only teams in the league to pay a fullback. Line up, hit somebody, and get 1 yard. But no, they backed up into shotgun formation and try to run. Like, why are you backing up to try and get 1 yard, first of all? So they did that twice. And then they ran an option like we're in freaking high school. What are we – after that moment, I was like, we're going to lose this ball game. And I know it was still kind of early, and we still had a shot. But, like, why are we making idiotic calls like that? And Shane Waldron came out this week, and they talked about meeting with the
players,
the leadership on the team and stuff. Like, it's only 3 weeks in, and it feels like we are full blown. Hit the panic button. I hope they can dig out of it. A good head coach is going to help you dig out of it. I just spoke about how Kentucky did against South Carolina. They came back against Georgia and Ole Miss and were able to put it together and galvanize with each other. I feel like we have the locker room to do it. I'm worried we don't have the right coach to do it. Tooch, you and I were on the same board. You know, you bring in a new quarterback, bring in an offensive mind with him. I already saw someone in the chat speaking about Jaden Daniels. Look.
Oh, you know what's going to happen.
Washington went out and got Cliff Kingsbury for him. We interviewed Cliff Kingsbury, but apparently it was just to figure out about Caleb. They didn't really look at him like that. They have built that offense to help Jaden Daniels. And remember, his head coach went to the Super Bowl a few years ago with Atlanta. So it's not like it's not a first-time head coach learning on the job like the Bears always do to save a dime. So I feel like it's really comparing apples to oranges. But the bright side that we did see last week, after complaining and bitching and moaning, Caleb Williams threw for over 300 yards. He threw 2 touchdowns. He solidified his thing with Rome Odunze. Rome Odunze looked crisp, clean, hit him deep. You know what I'm saying? Dropped it in the bucket, things that we haven't seen a lot of Bears quarterbacks able to do. And he found Cole Kmet finally. Now, if that continues this week with Keenan Allen coming back, I'm not sure. But he found Cole Kmet, which I was really happy to see because the middle of the field, I feel like we weren't even using it. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, I mean, that's what it really come down to me was the 4th down stop. And then our defense was just gassed at that point, man. They continue to get thrown back on the field, and you have a Pro Bowl running back coming at you running down the hill. Like you could be we have a damn good running defense, but after a while you just I don't know. It sucks that we lost. I was chalking that one up as a win on this season.
I was
at the over on the Bears. KB, you're in the area. You're kind of halfway between Indianapolis and Chicago, down there in South Bend. What's the vibe like around there? What do you think of the game? And also, shout out to Big Cuz for being on with Spice Adams. I watched Spice Adams' interview on Barstool, and I was like, man, he reminds me of Big Cuz when I saw it. And then, like, a few days later, I see them interviewing each other. I was like, let's go. And when he talked about loving playing nose guard, because that's exactly what Spice said on Barstool, I was like, he sounds just like Andrew. You know what I mean? So that was so cool to see. Definitely shout out to him. But give me your thoughts.
let's say, man, it's a weird dynamic out here, right? Because to be real with you, I probably know a handful of Colts fans. A lot of people from the area that, I mean, you don't hear a lot of Colts talk here. The only time you heard Colts talk was when Peyton Manning was quarterbacking, a little bit when Andrew Luck was quarterbacking. Like I said, it's scattered. It's a handful of guys. The general consensus that I got out of this past week was a lot of people that were Bears fans pissed off. A lot of people I know said there's no way in hell Bears should have lost the game. You're looking at a team with a quarterback in Indianapolis Colts that has a pure project at quarterback. Let's be honest. That's what Anthony Richardson is. He's an athletic freak, and he's being asked to be the franchise quarterback. And right now, the few Colts fans I know don't even know if he's the franchise quarterback.
I said it when he was coming out. I didn't see anything special of him at Florida other than his athleticism. I mean, we played him head to head and beat him a few times. I don't think he's experienced enough, and
that at all. I've said this to my guy that was exclusive. Like I said, he's a Colts fan. I said, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't see a big difference between him and Joe Milton. And Joe Milton won in the 6th round. So, just like I said, general consensus was Bears shouldn't have lost that game. There's a lot to work on. I know we talk about Caleb throwing for over 300 yards, but Caleb also threw 52 fucking passes. Yeah, which is I've never seen out of a Bears quarterback. So,
especially not in his 3rd game ever.
Yeah. I mean, it was a lot of yards to throw for, like I said, it's a lot of attempts. This harkens back to what I said before. And I'm not bringing this up just to bring it up. I'm saying it because I said this last year on the pod or in the summer, whatever the case was. We sat here and we talked up this offensive line and we talked up this team as a great running team. No, this team was not a great running team. The team was great rushing-wise because Justin Fields was on the team. He accounted for at least 70% of the rushes. Yeah. I need people to understand that. That wasn't going to translate when he left. Roschon Johnson helped a lot better running style, fits what I guess we're trying to do better. To me, he's a hard-nosed runner. He goes downhill. This what the issue I have right now with DeAndre Swift. He's doing too much dancing. My man, you got to plant and cut. We need more one cut than we need dancing. Like I said, the O-line is in flux. At this point, I'm pretty sure Nate Davis was benched. It's not an injury because if you're hurt, why are we coming back? Why are you in the game when Tevin Jenkins is down? You had to move Matt Pryor. I'll say Tevin Jenkins.
Braxton Jones.
Thank you. No, Nate Davis was benched.
He had to come back in when Jones went out, though.
Yeah, he came back in when Jones came out. That solidified it for me. No, my man, you were benched.
Yeah.
So, let's say Oracle's out. We also got to realize Khalil Herbert was hurt most of the year last year.
Well, I think what he's saying is
I get what he's trying to say.
You were talking about Fields accounting for so much of our rushing. Khalil Herbert was putting in work last year.
He was. But would anybody sit there and say right now that they believe that Khalil Herbert will be able to carry this team in rushing right now? I mean, you look at that O-line. That O-line is ass. There's no push. No, you're getting blown off the ball every play.
I mean, we've got the screenshot memes now. You know, it was a 4th and 1 play. The play call was stupid, but 4/5 of our offensive line is laying down like it's there. It is. It looks like a fucking beef day.
We can't sit here and say a team is so good at rushing. No, bro. A lot of that came because you had one of the most mobile people in the backfield. That's what happened. So I'm looking at the outset, and yes, I've seen stuff in the chat. Like I said, I've said before, I'm not going to judge Caleb off of 3 games or 2 games. Right. I say, when we start to get to 4, we have a little bit more of a sample size. What I've noticed, he's very accurate when he has a clean pocket. He does not have a deep ball. I don't care what anybody says right now. I'm not seeing it.
He hit Rome on that deep ball on the sideline.
How many ones did we see get overthrown, bro?
From the start of the season.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not slighting the kid at all. I'm just saying right now, I don't see the deep ball. That's not a consistent part of his game yet, it's early. Like I said, he can build into that, which I'm not worried. But there were shots that we've seen that were getting taken. You just seen the deep ball was not there yet. Yeah, you got to get on page with your boy. He's hurt. He hadn't been there for the practice in the way that you want him to be. And I'm gonna say the same thing is gonna probably be there for Keenan, but we know Keenan is more slot heavy. So what does that do for Doomsday? Because the Doomsday was getting a lot of his work sometimes coming out of the slot. Same thing. It's weird because I got three wide receivers I feel can play the slot. DJ Moore can play the slot really well.
Should we be worried about DJ Moore kind of being a distraction? You know, he's just out there. He's our best receiver, and he was our best player on the team last year, and he's running distracted, running the distraction routes. You know, run deep, you run low while Rome runs deep, and we're going to hit Rome, or they'll give it to him low, so he's got to break 3 tackles to get a first down. Like, I know we got a lot of mouths to feed, and I don't know if we got the right offensive mind to feed them all, but it just. I worry about losing DJ Moore. He's been through a lot. I mean, he played in Carolina before he came here. Yeah. He's got to get frustrated at some point in his career that, like, hey, I've been busting my ass every week and not getting anything for it.
I think you got to look at the totality of what your offense looks like. The offense looked it looked on schedule when Caleb was under center. I don't know why we're not seeing more play action. Yep. I mean, I get sometimes when you can't run the ball, it doesn't really work. But my man, at a certain point, you got to force the damn ball down the field, man. You got to run the ball, whether you're getting 1 yard or 2 yards. We have to establish some type of run. The O-line has to get more aggressive. Get them to start firing off. Hell, their entire work to me would be hitting the goddamn bags and pushing sleds. That's all y'all doing this week because we have like the number 30 goddamn rush right now in run game. That's putrid. That's ass. That is absolutely cheeks. You know what I'm saying? And that's what, to me, that's what your big problem is right now. We can't run the ball.
That's true.
So
yeah, you can't run the ball, so they're not falling for play action. You can't really build off of it. And exactly. I think someone said it in the chat. It all boils down to O-line. Chris, you've been on this O-line all offseason, man. Is that what it boils down to with you, or give me your thoughts on the game from last week?
I mean, to me, the game last week just illustrated poor coaching. I mean, what the fuck are the head coach fucking about with a 1 and 2? I mean, for fuck's sake, that's just like simplistic high school football coaching. Do you know what I mean? Also, the play calling, the offensive play calling, absolutely terrible. Like they're asking like wide receivers to block defensive ends. You know, like you've already brought up, AC, that the play calls when we were right near the goal line. It was like watching Gets You Mark 2. Why are we always in the fucking shotgun? This is, you know, the thing what's really pissing me off, AC, is that the things what we're talking about are the things what we talked about for the last 2 or 3 years since I've been doing the show with you guys. And that's the thing what's really annoying me. That's either down to ownership, and we all have views about the ownership, or the coaching. You know, we're only in the 4th game of the season today, right? And we're already having player meetings with coaches. And also as well, I heard the rumour that Waldron is like scared around players, talking to players or some bullshit. What the fuck? You're a fucking coach. You fucking tell your players what to do, and if they don't do it, get them on the fucking sideline, especially that offensive line, Nate Davis, and fucking sit your fat ass down there, mate. Because I don't see anybody.
This is Chris right here.
Piss off, you grassy little wanker!
I'm telling you, maybe this is it's just coming out of me today, but it's just so annoying. That offense is so annoying. We don't know what we are. What are we? A passing team, a fucking running team. We can't run it. We were like one of the top 3 running teams over the last couple of years. And I know that was locked down to Fields playing because obviously the defenses had to watch him. But it's still 3 of them offensive line played last year for us. So why are we deteriorating so badly? Why have we got a play caller who can't fucking communicate with his players? And also as well, white head coach. I mean, basically, I heard something with Danny Shinneman a couple of weeks ago. on Perform 55, and he said he heard something that when Wardrobe was back in Seattle, it was actually the head coach said, look, you need to start running the ball more. Pete Carroll said, you need to start running the ball more because what you're trying to do is working. And we need Eberflus to fucking sit him in a room and go, look, this is fucking bullshit, mate. You know what I mean? We've got all this talent, and what you're calling is not helping that talent to succeed. And the thing that annoys me as well is we've got a GM who was an offensive lineman, and we never saw out the offensive line. We don't see the drafting. All right, we drafted right at the right tackle high up a couple of years ago. But generally, we don't seem to draft offensive linemen very high, and this is why we're in such a state. We're using fifth rounders or cast off from other teams, and it's just fucking pissing me off. It really is. Like last week, I just wanted to smash the fucking TV up. I was so frustrated because it's the same shit. And that, if it was something different, like, maybe the receivers are, struggling a bit, or if it were a different part of the offense, but it's the fucking offensive line as per usual. And Khalib, I've got no issue with Khalib at all. He has to do too much again. And also as well, don't you feel like they're asking him to do too much for the snap of the ball pre-snap? Like, I'm watching him, he's fucking doing this, he's doing that, he's doing this, and they don't start to put too much on his plate. Simplify it. Speed the game up for him. The guy's got, that pass, that 47-yard pass was something of beauty. I mean, he's got such a lovely touch on his pass, but you're asking somebody who's getting fucking people in his face to pass 56 times or 52 times, whoever it was. That's just ridiculous. It's a rookie quarterback. The coach should know that, you know what I mean? So, I always look at things from the offensive side because I played running back, so I always look at things on the offensive side. Thank the fuck we got a good defense.
Right.
Thank the fuck we got big cuts, even though he might. I don't know. Is he starting today, KB? So he's got a bit of a knock.
Yeah, he gonna start still, man.
He'll start. So luckily we got a great defense, but. Man, I don't know because the Bears don't fire people through the season. They don't fire coaches. So there's like a bit of going, this is just like a replay of the last 2 years. Offensive-wise, scheme-wise. And why, and it just proves that, Eberflus, are you really a leader? Because if he were my offensive coordinator, I'd have him by the neck in the fucking change rooms going, what the fuck do you think you're fucking doing? Do you know what I mean? Because it's, if I can watch a game and go, we need to run the ball more. We need to stop asking, little wide receivers to fucking block the goal line. What the fuck?
Blocking the DN. What are we doing?
What the fuck? So I'm just really disappointed with the coach, the offensive line, and I don't think it's ever going to change.
Facts.
Yeah, he was
fucking facts.
Bullshit call.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that happened last week. They called. Forward progress stopped on him on that one, and then on the goal line, we stopped him.
My man stopped for 2 seconds. There's no movement.
They pushed the pile, and they're just like, let it run. I don't know.
So, I'm just disappointed overall by the offensive line and by the play calling by the offense. And thank fuck we've got people like Big Cuz, a great defense, just to hold them back. But, man, today's game, man, something's got to change. Like a couple of years ago, they actually realised that Justin Fields could run. So they changed the offense to more like where he could have more running plays, and it worked. We started winning games. We need a turnaround as big as that in the offense to start winning games again. Because this is just putrid fucking bullshit.
Well, hopefully the players' meeting helps Waldron get his head out of his ass and he can figure stuff out. But Barlissimo broke it down perfectly. Left tackle still getting pushed on his ass right into the quarterback. I wanted Braxton to work. I was president or vice president of the Braxton Jones fan club, but he's not. It ain't it. Tevin Jenkins has regressed this year in a contract year. Your left guard, your center. I love what Barlissimo said there. You had Tyler Biadasz, who, speaking of Washington, they went and got him.
Yep.
Or Cushenberry in free agency. You had
saw him with the Titans.
Yeah, you had a couple of guys that you could have drafted, but they chose to go with the backup center of the Rams, not even the starter. And then the backup interior offensive lineman who Poles loves from Buffalo. So now he has to be the savior when he comes off IR. I don't know about that. And then at right guard, Matt Pryor came in and he was fine, I guess. But, Nate Davis
he's a tackle,
terrible.
though. Pryor's he's too big and slow in the guard position. Look,
well, do you think Pryor should be left tackle and they should bench Jones or?
Yes,
they should go out and sign Bakhtiari. Fuck that.
Yeah, or
that. Get somebody and bring him in because
I wonder if Bakhtiari doesn't have concussions or something that's keeping him from wanting to come back, or maybe his legs.
He wants a little bit more than teams are offering.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but we've got the money, haven't we? We still got quite a lot of money in the cap. So why don't we use it? Because we are in a desperate situation. We're going to be like 2 or 3 games behind everybody else in our division.
Why indeed?
They're gonna
exactly, Tooch. Exactly, mate.
By the 8th game of the season, if we're going the way we're going, Caleb is going to be in the body bag. Bajan is going to be a starting quarterback because we don't have Caleb anymore.
Yeah,
so they need to do something.
Yeah, and another thing that you touched on there, Chris, was after they scored the touchdown, okay, we're happy. It's Caleb's first passing touchdown. It's Rome's first receiving touchdown. They've got the thing worked out and everything. But your head, they shoot back to the coach. You got one coach saying go for 1, the other one saying go for 2. Before that drive even starts, those players should know whether they're going for 1 or going for 2 in that situation. And how is it not going for 2 to make it a field goal game? Like, I don't understand. They had to waste the timeout
for it anyways. I know. Flus is terrible with timeouts. Look, there's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah.
The offensive line is a mess. I think players are playing out of position. Tevin Jenkins' best position is probably right guard.
Yeah.
Darnell Wright might be best on the left tackle, like Berlissimo says. To me, Berlissimo likes him at guard. To me, put him at right tackle. He's massive. You have Tevin Jenkins and Pryor on the right. Run behind that. But look, the offensive line. I think guys are playing out of position. It's terribly uncoordinated. What's disturbing?
I don't know about Darnell Wright on the left. He did it for 1 year at Tennessee, and it didn't work out well, so they moved him back over to the right side.
We got nothing to lose, though. That's basically my point. But what's disturbing to me is that we couldn't run against the league's worst run defense. That's the Colts. Now, we'll know for certain because the next worst run defense, it's the Rams.
Next two games.
It's the Rams, and the Panthers are right there. We have like 3 of the bottom 4 run defenses in the NFL these past 3 weeks, the last week, this week, and next week. So if we can't run the ball, there's something terribly, terribly wrong with the defense. I think that the Bears, the last game brought about a lot of old questions, like is Flus the guy? Should we have fired Flus before the season? Waldron, Flus, and Poles, are they the guys to develop Caleb Williams? I don't think they are. I mean, I'm just a fan, but I don't think we have the guys. Cliff Kingsbury is the guy who ran his offense is the closest to what Caleb Williams ran in college.
That's what he ran at USC.
That's what he ran at USC. It's the same thing they ran at Oklahoma when he was.
And they did that same thing when Joe Burrow was drafted. They went and they used some offensive concepts from LSU, some things he was already using. So he didn't have to learn a whole new offense and learn all these new things. He was kind of had a head start on it. You know what I'm saying? They didn't do that with Caleb. They kind of hamstrung him a little more. And yes, he does have some accuracy issues where he overthrows guys who are running wide open.
To me, I don't think you could escape blame everything on the coaching because Poles hangs on to people way too long. I'm going to give you Velus Jones and Matt Eberflus as examples. If you're bringing in a player of Caleb Williams' offensive prowess, passing talent, you don't have a defensive-minded head coach and the Seattle Seahawks offensive coordinator cast off to bring him along. We should have reset it, coach, because this offseason, in all likelihood, the Bears are going to be talking about whether they retain Matt Eberflus. He's 11-26 as a head coach. The good news is that Flus is 8-10 at home in his career. So we're better off playing at home. I think the Bears have a great chance of winning this game. But the thing is that on offense, we're the same team on offense. We're 30th on offense, 25th passing, 31st in rushing. Our success rate, our offensive success rate is very low. We're 67% of our down sets reach third down. So, for example, the league average is 47%. We're 20% worse in our offensive sets than any other team. We get to third down more than any other team in the NFL by 20%. That's a massive margin. We're having no success on first and second down. So the run game isn't there. There's a lot of problems here on offense. I mean, look, I'm not discouraged by Caleb Williams. He has accounted for 89% of the Bears' offense this season. It's not his fault. I feel good about the quarterback position. I don't feel good about the people that are leading the team as far as Poles, Eberflus, and Waldron on this side of the ball. For example, when Williams also he's got almost a 68% catch to target ratio, which means he throws a very catchable ball, and our receivers aren't dropping balls. So that's a net positive in my opinion. When he has a clean pocket, he's 29 of 43 for 331 yards against the Colts, 15 first downs and 1 touchdown. He's getting time to throw, but he's getting rid of the ball so fast because he does not trust his offensive line to protect him. When he's blitzed now, after he was blitzed so much versus the Texans, against the Colts, he was 6 of 9 for 65 yards and a touchdown against the blitz. So teams are not going to be able to blitz him as much, I don't think. I think we'll have a little bit more success against the blitz. But the offense has got to be coordinated enough to have a hot read for him to go to. And he finally discovered it was Cole Kmet. 97 yards, a touchdown. And I can't believe it took Shane Waldron 3 games to figure out that Cole Kmet was our best tight end. Roshan Johnson was our best running back.
I mean, Roshan been hurt, though. So, I mean.
Roshan's been hurt. But, look, DeAndre Swift's our $8 million man. He's averaging 1.86 yards per carry. It could say more about our offensive line. But
I said this on your betting show. Roshan Johnson was good last year. D Swift was good behind Philly and Detroit's O-lines, the 2 best in the league.
To me, he's a third down back, but on plays a third or fourth down, we can't be lining up DeAndre Swift 10 yards deep on the goal line.
No,
it's just not going to work.
Roshan all day.
Yeah, I mean, line up with 2. The Bears have the most success in 2 tight end sets. Run some 2-man routes, mass protect, maybe slip Cole Kmet out as an outlet receiver or Roshan Johnson, as an outlet receiver. But max protect, run for max protect, pass from 2 tight end sets with Kmet and 2 wide receiver sets. Run some 2-man routes. I'll give me DJ Moore singled up on his matchup today is pretty favorable. DJ Moore, he is going up against a third-year cornerback. Let me get this. Kobe Durant. He's probably the best of the secondary, but where the Rams are hurting is secondary. They have a lot of injuries in secondary. We might get Keenan Allen. He's got that heel injury. We might get Keenan Allen back today. He's got that heel injury, and without him, I think Caleb Williams has struggled a little bit. I'm happy to see the connection between him and Rome, which I think was great. But DJ Moore's been frustrated since they traded Justin Fields. To tell you the truth, he loved Justin Fields. He said, "I don't understand why we're trading him," But we're going with Caleb. We don't have a choice, so let's just focus on Caleb Williams. Forget about Fields. Forget about the fact that Justin Fields busted the coaching staff. I don't know if you heard his quote. His coaching staff's better than Steelers. It took him half a second. It didn't even take him half a second to answer. So I mean, come on.
We see that too. I
was gonna say it was the truth. But I want to make this point real quick because I had watched Cam Newton talking about certain situations, and one of the things that was brought up on his pod was we're bringing a lot of these kids in and there's no development. We're forcing them to play different offenses when they come in. I'm paraphrasing. I'm not going word for word for what he said, but you look at the fact that you interviewed Cliff Kingsbury. If you knew you were going with Caleb and the rest of the league knew they were going with Caleb, why the fuck wouldn't you hire Cliff Kingsbury to be your offensive coordinator to translate his offense to the league? So you expedite the process exponentially for your quarterback to come in and know what routes, what reads that he needs to make and where to go. Protection is that he can help set up for the O-line.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you do that? This is
they
something
were
that Cam was bringing up. He was like, why wouldn't you lean more college heavy with some of these kids coming out right now? Instead of trying to make them run your offense, run what they're used to, what made them good in college.
Yeah.
So
they were worried about Kingsbury being better than Eberflus and replacing him in the middle of the season. They can't have his feelings hurt because that's Poles.
It's got that big out Sonny on the late to pay for, so we can't say anything against the coach, can we?
It's mind-boggling me.
You kind of got to agree with what he said. Can't hire anybody that's a threat to Flus's job.
So we live in that inactivity for the rest of our goddamn fandom because I don't want to hurt somebody's fucking feelings. We're 1-2. We should have beat the Colts.
Yeah.
We could have beat the Texans.
Yeah.
We could be 3-0. We could have lost the Titans game. Like we're not looking at this shit. We could be 0-3.
Yeah.
Just as much as we could sit here and say, we could have been 3-0. There's no growth. This offense looks the same as it did last year and the year before that.
Yep.
The difference is right now, yes, we have a better throwing quarterback than we used to, but we had a very athletic quarterback that was covering up a lot of these fucking warts. Folks saying, the O-line looks way better last year. They're going to look good. No, they fucking don't. They look worse. Yep. And it's because your quarterback isn't going to be able to bail you out because he's not that athletic.
Yep.
That's all it is.
They're learning that they're learning a new offense too. The offensive line,
true.
You know. But aside from that, Washington Commanders and Pittsburgh Steelers, who are two teams that we're kind of comparing what they did in the offseason with the Bears and similar quarterbacks with running and throwing talent, with Fields and Jaden Daniels. Pittsburgh and Washington both invested in the offensive line.
I was going to say they fixed their line.
Pittsburgh first picks were offensive linemen.
Yeah, even guys that we let leave. James Daniels he wasn't great here. He was okay. We talked about keeping him because of his age. Well, he's grading as one of the top guards in the league now that he's in Pittsburgh. That
Lucas
goes back to
Patrick.
coach.
He's great. That's one of the best linemen. What the
fuck? It's coaching.
It's not coaching. Why do people think when college players come out the college game that's the finished product? They're halfway through what the career process should be. You know what I mean? You're right. You get to the NFL and now you're a professional player, and I just can't believe. I think really we just got all caught up in the hype. I feel like I got so caught up in the hard knock hype pre-season, and we got with Khalib and all that. But I didn't think we were going to have all these problems, and it's like I said before, it's the same fucking problems year in and year out. And does that interpret because we got the same top leadership in the club? The McCaskies. I'm getting so cynical now that are we never ever going to change as long as we've got the McCaskies owning the team? Is it and if that's the fact, then we're all gonna be watching a lot of crap Bears football. But I hope that isn't the reason behind it, because I've met Michael McCaskey twice, and he was a quite nice guy to me. So I don't want to boo-hoo him too much. But it does make you think that way. Is it all the way from the top? And is that attitude, be nicey nice?
It's possible. I mean, when we watched Hard Knocks, they made Eberflus look good. Shout out to their editing department. And remember they said if there's any cussing, we're cutting it out. That's coming from ownership. That's coming from the McCaskies, who don't realize it's not 1952 anymore. And it's a new era, a new world that you have to change with the times. You have to adapt. We talk about Pittsburgh. They've had 3 head coaches since what? Speaking of the 1950s, it had to be, you know what I mean? They hold on to their guys, they build a culture, and they're not scared to spend money. Now a lot of their money gets spent on defense, which is different than the rest of the league right now, but it works. They have a winning culture, and the Bears historically do not have a winning culture. We have the Super Bowl in 85. We built another defense and got to the Super Bowl in 06.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, probably should have got there with Cutler, but he got hurt. Like, but 3 since 86, like, that's
shit.
There's no Olin Kreutz in the locker room.
Yes, you're right there.
But there's a Cruz on Illinois. I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. I'm sorry.
Well, people are patient. People are preaching patience for the Bears, and unfortunately, it's hard to be patient when we've recycled the coach.
Exactly.
And we've got a new offensive coordinator again. You know, a new play caller. We're learning a new offense again.
Yeah.
You know, and they haven't spent money on the offensive line, which is probably, one of the most important things as far as team success.
Can I say this real quick? Just because I just want to get this out there because I hate when people say we got fleas. Y'all do realize we're getting a 4th round pick for Fields, right? Like, people understand this
he
shit now,
plays
right?
51% of the snaps. Yep.
I was gonna say I thought it was 4 games. He had to start 4 games.
No, it was how the percentage of the snaps he took through the year.
No.
That's what it worked out.
We're like this whole all they did was trade a 6th round. No, Fields is their starting quarterback, dog. Like that shit's happening.
Yeah.
So I just want to say that because I seen a thing saying that the Steelers fleece polls and
Barlissimo's got a point here that my father-in-law swears by. He says the Bears would have won in 06 if they'd have kept Kyle Orton and never traded for Cutler. I was a Cutler fan. The guy was a 26-year-old Pro Bowl quarterback when we traded for him. We just didn't have the infrastructure in place for him to continue growing. He was growing in a Shanahan system. Look what's working now. Look what's all over the league. The Shanahan system. Like, maybe not. Barlissimo. I mean, Kyle Orton, when he left here, he went to Denver and was mediocre. Then he went to Dallas and was mediocre. Then he went to Buffalo and was mediocre. Great.
To me, that's one of the old adage about, you know what I'm saying, with boxers. Styles make fights. I think Kyle Orton's style made the Bears better, or the Bears style made Kyle Orton better. Maybe if you did keep him, who knows? Maybe you could have used those 1st round picks to bring in other talent. They probably would have just thrown it on defensive line, but I'm just saying.
Or another running back when you had one sitting there.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know that we needed to get away from the past, though. I feel like we need to get into this week. So this week we had the Los Angeles Rams coming to town. I wish it was colder so we can make them pay in the Chicago weather, but it's not. It's decent weather today, but they are coming hamstrung as well. Puka Nacua is on IR. Cooper Kupp is doubtful, correct?
Out.
Yep.
Out. So your starting receivers is Tutu Atwell, L's down, Tutu Atwell, and Demarcus Robinson, I believe. So that's their starting wide receiver group. Their starting tight end is Colby Parkinson, I believe is how you say his name.
Oh, yeah, Parkinson.
Colby Parkinson.
Kyron Williams is coming back. He played for Notre Dame. He had a hat trick last week. You know, he can hurt you on the ground and through the air, so you got to keep an eye on him. It'll be big for our linebackers to try. That's why I'm wearing Sanborn today, because I think it's coming down to our linebackers today. I think it's a big. Billings is going to wear
Olin Kreutz jersey.
No, this is a Sanborn. But and then but the biggest. I mean, their offensive line's not great either. But they.
Sorry. I mean, they've got 3 people out on their starting offensive line. So we should eat, man. Our D-line should be eating against their O-line. But the thing as well is they've got Matthew Stafford, haven't they? Who's been there, played against the Bears his whole career. Great player, won a Super Bowl. But if we can get good pressure on him, especially like with his front 4, like with big Cuz, then no matter how good you are, if you get that pressure up right through the center, then he don't give you any time to get your balls out. So that was so bad that I laughed.
He caught himself on that.
Balls out. Look at that.
Well, I even laughed at my own crap joke. That's terrible. I apologise to the audience and to you boys.
I will say, though, I watched week 1 of the Rams, and they were down both their starting tackles. They only had Cooper Kupp, basically, and their offensive-minded head coach made Matt Stafford throw the ball lightning fast. I mean, he was hike, it's out. Hike, it's out. We don't see that here. We see hold on to the ball, wait for something to develop, either get sacked or hope to hit something deep. Like, that's what I want to see.
That's what C.J. Stroud did to us.
Yeah.
Right. Slants, screens, as much as we hate to hear that word, screens. Use the middle, you make them, what do they say, defend every blade of grass, so you spread them out and try and make them, because this Rams defense isn't great, fellas. The only thing that scares me today is Matt Stafford doing Matt Stafford things. And Caleb even talked about him being his second favorite quarterback behind Rodgers. So this guy was cheering for 2 quarterbacks in our division coming up.
He's gonna be like,
12
man,
and 9
I
against
was
the
cheering
Bears.
for Kirk Cousins the whole time too. Goddamn.
In his career, 12 and 9 against the Bears.
I mean, Stafford's great, man. He there's no doubt about it, and
you have to pressure him. We have to pressure him to beat him.
Yeah,
the Bears should have a decided advantage with our pass rush against their offensive line. Like we've got two teams trying to get back to 500 here.
Right.
The Rams are traveling 2,000 miles and they're playing what amounts to a 10 a.m. game on their clock. West Coast time. It's 10 a.m. when this game starts. That's a little bit of advantage for us. Like I said, we have to pressure Matt Stafford, and 2 of our coaches worked for Sean McVay, so they have to know what he's thinking, what he does in certain situations. I'm talking about Shane Waldron and the Bears quarterback coach was also I forget the quarterback's coach's name.
I can't.
I don't have it. Maybe the chat room has it.
Is it Vance something?
No,
Yeah, something Vance. Damn.
I'll look it up. Just keep talking. I'll look it up.
Yeah,
J2K's got a good point here, though. They're 7th in pressure, 28th in sacks. They did draft Jared Verse. They got Kobe Turner on that defensive line who broke out last year.
Yep. The key to this game, you have to stop Kyron Williams.
Yeah.
That's their whole offense goes to this guy now with Kupp and Nakua out. Edwards has not been good against covering running backs. Maybe we've got to think about maybe Tremaine Edmonds doing a little bit more in pass coverage versus Kyron Williams. They're going to try to get Williams isolated on our linebackers. Edwards is good against the run.
Kerry Joseph is the quarterback coach.
Kerry Joseph. Yep.
I just said that shit.
I didn't hear you.
Vance Joseph. Vance Joseph. Hold on.
I just Googled it. It said Kerry Joseph. So
Kerry
Google was
Joseph.
wrong.
Is it?
I don't know. Well, Don Burr's on our shit today, y'all. He's already calling Rams winning by 10.
Don Burr, you can go.
I'm gonna take the Bears to win this game. But
all I heard
we have
was
a good
Don Burr,
massive
fuck
matchup.
yourself. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah, that's how technical I want to get. Go fuck yourself, Don. Enjoy a little bit of fucking success, because you had fuck all for 50 years, mate.
Yeah.
So go suck your own dick. Fuck off.
Montez Sweat.
No lies, well, go fuck yourself, mate. Sorry,
Sweat.
I'm that way out today. Have you noticed?
Yeah, he's on one today.
Montez Sweat has an awesome matchup today versus Warren McClendon. He's the 67th ranked tackle in the NFL.
Wow.
By Pro Football Focus.
You said 66?
67th out of all the starting tackles in the NFL.
So he'll be getting chipped by tight ends all day. And
Yep, he had his first sack pick up his first sack of the season last week, though. Sweat of Anthony Richardson. Bears, of course, have been trying to move Montez around, both sides of the line. So hopefully we get a favorable matchup. Like I said, I mentioned T.J. Edwards versus Kyron Williams. We have to stop Kyron Williams on the backfield, man. Bears have been weak against running backs in the passing game. Then you're looking at Braxton Jones has got that knee injury. He's going to be matched up against Jared Verse, and I don't exactly like that. I mean, Jared Verse is a good power rusher.
Jared Verse is a guy that I wanted the Bears to draft last.
Yeah, I think everybody wanted.
I didn't think Rome was going to be there. I was like, take Verse if Rome's not there.
You're right.
But I think Rome would be there. Austin Booker had a sack last week too, didn't he? I feel like it was last week or maybe it was the week before.
I don't think so. But
our D line's been getting after it.
We've got good pressure from Daryl Taylor. Yeah.
Yeah,
getting good pressure from Derek
as
Taylor.
long as he's good to go. I mean, he hurt his knee on that. Was it a block punt that he went down on or something like that? Or yeah, that's when they ran into our kicker and they was real mad that they threw that flag. But Torrey Taylor, he didn't have a great game last week either. He was the guy they brought in to be the weapon and coffin corner punt it and kind of pin them deep. And I know it's small potatoes when you're talking about the big scheme of it all.
He got whacked on one play.
They hit his plant leg. That's what the flag was for.
They hit his plant leg, and they were like, did it get
did it get tipped? Yeah,
someone get a finger on the ball or something, but they ruled it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
He may be a little hurting on that plant leg. If it was that was against the Colts.
It was. Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Yeah,
I think Shane Steichen was a good head coach. I think that. I think the quarterback is their issue there, but I mean, like I said, we have the ability to win this game today. I
think so too.
We just have to put it all together. Our defense is fantastic.
It's passing game coordinator Thomas Brown who worked for Sean McVay. I finally got
that's who needs to be calling offense.
Yep, and both Waldron and Thomas Brown worked for Sean McVay.
Yep.
Look, Sean McVay is, I think, one of the best coaches in the NFL. The guy's like ice in his veins.
Yeah, I love him and Shanahan.
Yeah, he makes
them too.
Yeah, he makes
and Reed obviously, but
Andy Reid. Yep, he makes some great calls with guys are out. He's just plugging another guy into the system. But look, the Rams are coming off a gigantic win, against the 49ers. So it's a classic letdown spot for the Rams.
That's
Bears are coming off an embarrassing loss to the Colts.
The Rams and Niners are becoming the new Bears-Packers games. Like, you can never tell what the outcome is going to be on paper because both those teams don't like each other. They both know each other's systems. Shanahan's not going to do anything that McVay hasn't seen or doesn't think he can prevent or work toward. Where we might be able to see Waldron throw a wrinkle in there because he's not only been under McVay, he's been under Belichick, he's been under Pete Carroll. I was going to say Nick Saban. I don't remember if he spent time in Alabama or not, but he's been around a lot of defensive-minded head coaches. He should be able to stop shaking on the damn sideline and run the damn ball. You make me shake at home. It freaking drives me nuts.
I don't know what the problem is with the Bears' run game. Why we can't be? I mean, if we can't, we have
coaching. That's the problem.
I think our run game, we try to get too cute. We don't just line up. When they did line up and gave it to Roshan and pounded it forward.
Yep, we don't have that kind of line. Yeah, I agree, AC.
But they kept continue. Oh, okay, Swift, we'll go to the outside, or we'll fake this reverse here and try and cut it outside. And Swift is missing the holes too.
Yep.
I saw the video. Someone broke down the tape literally from last week where he can go. DJ Moore's got his guy sealed off instead of going around him. He tried to go inside and run through a defensive lineman that was coming. Like that's not going. You're not that guy, pal. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't know.
I see it's just going to be interesting to see Eberflus's defense against McVay's offense. Because who do you guys think can out scheme each other? I'm more going for McVay rather than Eberflus. Who's going to out scheme who? But yeah, just get back to fucking smash mouth fucking football. Yeah. Ram it down the throats. If they've got a lot of injuries as well on defense, then I don't understand why we haven't used Khalil Herbert more. He was popping over 5 yards a carry last year, and he's just and us as well. I just thought Waldron is one of them coaches who's so obsessed about his own scheme that he won't change to the players' strengths. And that
almost Nagy-esque, right?
It's like Nagy gets it all wrapped into one again. And come on, man. You know what I mean? It's just come on, man. That's all I can say. It's just so. It's like you said, AC. It's just getting to the point now where it's just getting beyond irritability. Watching the Bears offense try and play, it's so irritating, man.
That goal line sequence, man. I just can't get past that goal line sequence. Like How did you think that was going to work? I don't understand it.
I mean, yeah, but why did Influs go to him? What the fuck are you doing? Why are you fucking doing a pitch out so near the goal? And this is what he's missing. This is why I like coaches who are a bit fiery or go to the corner and say, look, what you're doing is not working. Change it, or I'll run the offense. And you can go fuck off. That's how we need to fucking get it. Don't be men. You know what I mean? Everybody's like pandering around, it seems, at the Bears. We're all trying to create this culture. It's fucking culture where they're sucking each other's dicks. Nobody's fucking taking responsibility, man. It's bullshit. Bullshit, man.
Bellissimo brings up a good point. It seems like they're kind of phasing him out of the offense so they can.
He didn't draft him. He doesn't like guys that he didn't draft.
Yeah.
He fucking loves guys he did draft, though.
Yeah, he loves those guys too much.
Go ahead,
I don't think he's that great of a talent evaluator, in my opinion.
I just want to reference this goal line play real quick, man, because this is high school shit, right? How are you taught to run the read option or speed out or whatever you want to call it?
You read the end. If he's crashing down, then you flick
crash
it.
down.
Yep.
Correct. As a quarterback, you attack the corner. The edge rusher. Yeah, that was also true.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was very true.
That's Matt Forte. He would know.
Yeah. Outside of the O-line all being on their ass except for the one player, it was kind of very lateral that he ran it down the line instead of, and then I'm not blaming Caleb for this at all. I'm just saying, when you're taught to run the speed option, you know what I'm saying, especially as me being at a running back position and me knowing how we're supposed to do this, you attack that DN. You make the DN commit to you so you can pitch the ball and, you cut up field.
Yeah.
That shit didn't happen. You look at that play, we're running very lateral. And then once that DN came in, he was like, oh, get the ball out. So, like I said, it was poorly blocked too. Like I said, everybody's on the ass.
Terrible.
Had very low chance of success. But I was always taught as a quarterback, you know what I'm saying, you attack the line, you attack the defensive end. You make him commit to you. If for whatever reason he wouldn't commit,
got to choose one
up the field. But like I said, O-line blocked that shit horrible.
Defenses they've been running that play for 5 to 10 years now, and defenses are adjusting to the RPO where they have to, crash. But they understand how to beat it now.
Yeah.
It's no surprise.
I heard, I think it might have been Big Cuz talking about it. He knows if he's not getting hit, he knows it's going to be a screen. That's how you sniff out. I'm the nose tackle. If I know I ain't getting hit.
Oh, wait a minute. Where's this ball? Yep. Look around.
Screen.
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift to me is the third down back. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm running Roshan first, second, maybe even third too.
Yeah.
I mean, my biggest issue is why are you getting in shotgun when you're a yard away?
Yes, that's my biggest issue.
If you come in, and even he came in on second down and ran it. Yeah. Okay, if that didn't work, that's when Flus has got to be like, "Fuck you, dude. This is what we're doing."
And also as well, I do remember this. Sorry, Tooch. It's like apparently they're interviewing Caleb and they were asking him, could you change the play call? And apparently he could do, but he didn't. So either that's like he's still unsure about his leadership with the Bears or whatever, but he should have seen that, change the play call, so like run up the middle or whatever. But why are you going in shotgun so close to the goal line where you're actually letting the defense see what you're doing? And they've got you're 5 yards away from behind the line of scrimmage at least. It's just so fucking crap play calling, man. Right. If that were a high school team, you'd be going, what the fuck's that coach doing? But we're not talking about high school. This is a fucking NFL. This is the fucking Chicago Bears, man. You know what I mean? We're supposed to be a run team.
Charter franchise.
Yeah. And I just think now that some coaches are just getting too cute. I think Waldron's getting too cute. He's still stuck to his scheme. For some reason, he doesn't have much confidence in himself and how he interacts with players, which I find baffling since he's been a coach for quite a long time. But he just needs to sort of say, right, we're going to do this. We're going to pound it, and then we can get the play action off it. We can do the roll. That's what Caleb is so good at. But yeah, I mean, to me, if they fire Waldron tomorrow, I'd be quite happy. I really am that pissed off with him.
Well, I doubt they'll fire him tomorrow. But
if we have another crap season, all right, they'll fire him at the end after the season like they always do.
Did they?
I'm more.
I don't remember, but
I thought they got
just
under
because they
center,
did it
'cause
doesn't mean
feel
we
like-
can do it.
I feel like they got under center because I feel like I even remember saying, "See, that's how you do it." And they have a tight end playing quarterback, like 6'5", 230.
Yeah, bigger than that, man. I think he's like
That's a
250.
big dude.
Yeah.
I
Like I
don't
said,
know.
if this doesn't work out, I'm all for them making the switch to Thomas Brown. I mean, I'm not gonna say Buddy comes with the greatest degree of play calling, but when he decided to take over for the couple games he got to call plays in Carolina, it seemed like the offense started moving. So
all of a sudden they can move the ball with Andy Dalton. That's another thing. We'll figure that out.
We looking at the Carolina game as a dub. Hell, Andy Dalton got them playing like the best team in the goddamn the NFC South.
Well, they were playing the Raiders.
Are you saying we should have
I don't
kept
give a
Andy
damn.
Dalton? We needed
I
to
don't
keep
give a
Andy
damn.
Dalton, right?
Andy, the red rifle was out there rifling. This is what I'm trying to tell you. It's bad.
We haven't been able to do anything with any quarterback, to be honest.
Said this last offseason.
Yeah. I wish. Wanted him last year, yep.
Yeah. Well, we talked about our Colts, the debacle there. We've turned the page to the LA Rams. We talked about run game, offensive line, coaching, issues on both of these teams. I mean, everyone's banged up at this point in the season.
Yep.
I think it's time to get into this and talk about our score prediction, bowl prediction, MVP, and hit our shout outs. I'm going to go backwards this time. Toots, you're going to start us off. I'm going to go down and around. So Toots start us off, then hit C-Dub, KB, and then I'll finish this out.
All right. I think the Bears win this game. I'm going to say 27-20 this game. Player of the game, I'm going to take Montez Sweat. I think the Bears. Look, I knew the Bears would probably lose to Houston, right?
Yeah.
But look, we're 1-2. This is the first, basically, quarter of the season. We're going for taking. I know there's 17 games. If we're taking 4 and 4 and 4, if we get out of the stretch of the first few games at 2-2, you know, you gotta be kind of happy and then like say, okay, we fucked around for the first quarter of the season. Let's start going because we got the Panthers the week after that. Then we had London take on the Jaguars, who are struggling. You know, Jaguars are struggling. I don't think they've won.
Talk about our coaching decision.
Our coach on the hot seat, man. The Jaguars coach may be gone.
He can't even sit down. That's just red hot.
That's so red hot, man. Doug Peterson. But and talk about first or number one overall quarterbacks who haven't lived up to expectations.
Right.
You got to throw Trevor Lawrence in there. A lot of talent just hasn't been able to put it together. You know, Bryce Young has been benched. But to me, the offensive line has got to play a lot better. You know, we saw them all laying down. To me, it's surprising that Ryan Poles, as a former offensive lineman, has put so little investment into our offensive line. I don't think he scouts the offensive line any good. And he's a former offensive lineman. It's beyond me. I know. I hate when the Bears go with coaches and GMs that have to learn on the job. We always do that.
Yes.
Always. We always do that. It screws
cheaper.
us. Then we get rid of these guys who we cast off because we gave them a chance. They're the new hot coach or whatever. They haven't done jack shit.
That's
as a
because
head
it's cheaper.
coach.
The
It's
only
cheaper.
head coach
Yeah.
that they've hired with experience.
That's part of
is
it.
John
Yeah.
Fox, so
Yep.
they can say, "Well, we tried that and it didn't work." You know.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Fox had the locker room cleaned up, you know, the team pointing in the right direction. He was a placeholder. Then made the mistake of hiring Matt Nagy. He was garbage as a head coach, you know, and then again repeated the mistake with Matt Nagy.
Mm-hmm.
Right, we got rid of Ryan Pace. He was a young guy. That was his first GM position. And we hire another young guy. It's his first GM.
I will
GM.
say the way Poles works the draft compared to the way Pace works the draft, give me that every day and twice on Sundays.
Yeah, I mean, okay, but I mean, are the choices that great though? I mean, look at his first draft. We traded around. He got like 11. He turned 5 picks into 11. I think only 3 of them are still on the team. That's not a great hit rate.
But he's getting more swings at the bat.
Yeah,
I mean, give
that's
me
fine.
more
But
swings.
you still got to hit though.
Yeah,
you know. But give me 27-21 Bears. I think it's a game. This is a winnable game. It's a classic letdown spot for the Rams, and it's a classic. We sucked last week. We need to focus a lot more spot for the Bears. you got to take advantage of the matchups that are advantageous for us today, like Montez Sweat against the Rams' worst offensive tackle. I'll take Montez as my MVP today, and then you have to use our players that are the best players. Like, you got to get DJ Moore involved, and you have to get Cole Kmet involved. Cole Kmet again. You have to match up Cole Kmet versus a linebacker. That's advantageous for us. Run some double tight end sets like Waldron used to do in Seattle. We haven't done enough of that. It's too much shotgun and 5-man protect, and four wide receivers to the right, one to the left. 4 wide receivers are all bunched up in one little zone, and you try and get DJ Moore singled up against a DB. It just hasn't worked.
Yeah.
So that's
Sully said he had to go back and rewatch it. Colts ran out of shotgun. Okay, it worked for them, but the RO line was not getting pushed all day. So the easiest way to get from point A to point B is to get up in somebody's ass. I mean,
the Colts have an elite offensive line, though, Zach. We don't. Like Matt Forte said.
Yeah, they have a good one. I don't know if I'd say
gun runs from the one are for elite offensive lines. We don't have that.
I don't know. Well, go ahead and hit your shout outs, and then we'll move to C.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to you guys, man. And the chat room was fired today. As always, Aldo, for making this all possible. And Fantasy Football Goon and my gang, Joe Mandel and Papa Bear, Zimmerman, after the show, 10:45, talking fantasy, prop plays, start, sit, answering questions.
Hell yeah. We got a lot. You got a lot of injuries on your fantasy team. Hopefully you've kind of dealt with those already.
Yeah. A shout out to my wife, who is doing some of my chores while I do the show. As long as she doesn't, she's about to kill me. But I'll make it back next week.
It's better to these hands come from the teach and drag you off.
Yep.
All right, go ahead, C-Dub. Hit your hit me with a bowl score prediction, bowl prediction, MVP, and hit your shout outs.
Right. Even after all my arguing and bad-tempered fucking comments about the team, I'm still going to go for the Bears win. I think I'm going to go 21-14 to the Bears. I think this is a massive game for the offense. I think this is a game where they really need to turn it on and start getting a bit of an idea of what they want to be and moving that ball. I think Cole Kmet could I think Cole Kmet could have a really good game because he seems getting back into the play call. They seem to go into him a lot more. So, and if they're struggling a bit on their linebackers and defensive backs, then I'll go Cole Kmet. But yeah, I think we might squeeze out a victory. I don't think it's going to be a pretty game at all. I think it's going to be. It could even be a lower scoring than what I predicted, to be honest with you. But my shout is first of all to you boys. Sundays out Sundays, and when I'm not talking to you boys, I'm telling you. And unfortunately, this is what I'm like when I don't smoke weed. I'm quite aggressive and quite noisy. I've just realised over this last hour. So this is what I'm like for. This is what I'm going to be like for the rest of the time. But no, it's a shout to you boys. Shout to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Aldo. Without him, we wouldn't have a network basically. And shout out to all the other shows as well on the network. I just hope people, see all the other shows like Phone 55 and Bear So with Tooch and the better one because they're fucking awesome. And they're all awesome people. And it keeps me going through the week watching them shows. And, not just for the entertainment part of it, but for the football as well. So yeah, there are my shouts out. And I just want to say, everybody just have a good week. Look after yourselves. And let's get that Bears victory, man.
Hell yeah. All right, go ahead, KB.
Oh, man, I'm glad y'all are everybody is so hopeful today because I'm not. I'm going 17-27 Rams on this one. Until I see a change, bro, I don't see us win. And I'm gonna stop playing the hopeful fool because we've been doing that for the past 3 to 4 years. It's the same shit, different day. Until they figure out how they really want to run this offense and play to Caleb's fucking talents. I'm not giving us a leg up on anybody. I wouldn't even put us on the fucking Panthers right now.
We're at a disadvantage against McVay. No question about it, KB.
So do I believe Caleb can have a good game? I feel like he can have another 2 touchdown game, of course. I will say I believe defense goes off today. I'm gonna keep saying this every fucking week. My cousin's gonna get a sack, man. Someday it's gonna happen, man.
Come on, big cousin.
Shitty, they took that interception away because
Man.
a fat man got a pick and he deserved it. I love you, cuz I ain't calling you fat, big man. But no, like I said, I think the defense will play, but it's the same deal like with the Colts game, bro. I think it'll be a lot of 3 and outs. Defense will be on the field a lot and get gas, trying to continuously get the Rams off the field. And like I said, when a dam can only hold so much. Eventually, a dam breaks. So, like I said, MVP. I'm just gonna. It's bad to say. I'm just gonna say the whole defense. And I believe they'll play their asses off. But like I said, the inevitable always happens. A better offense will always overcome a good defense in my book. Smash out to everybody on the networks, man. Of course, like I said, you got. If you're trying to win your fantasy games, man, you got to listen to that man Tooch up there. And if you're trying to win some money, you got to listen to that man as well. I might, you know what I'm saying? I might have to put some bets today because, your boy needs some money. So,
yep. I like Cairo Santos over 1.5 field goals. I like him to get 2 today.
Oh, yeah, that's easy work. I'm
on that bet already.
I'm going ahead and place $10 on the DraftKings and start making some of these little bets. You feel me?
If you play, start with $100 and you play minus 500, total. It doesn't always work, but if you and you go for a whole month making your plays, you end up with like 23,000 if you keep rolling it over.
Oh, that's great.
You got to win 30 in a row, but you're heavy favorites.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about my man over here getting paid, bro.
That's hard to win, though. I mean, if you had like Utah versus Arizona last night and Cam Rising sits out, you're screwed.
That's fucked up. But like I said, man, shout out to you boys, man. Like I said, this is always a pleasure, you know what I'm saying?
Everybody in the chat talking about Tutu.
Bro, if we lose, I'm wearing all black next week. Somebody is going. It's a funeral for somebody. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Somebody ain't gonna be here next week, and it's gonna be in Chicago. We will find you. I don't know who it is, but we'll find you.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, man. Like I said, shout out to you boys, man. And shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I seen we had over 55 viewers on the YouTube side, man. We only got 20-something likes, man. Hit the goddamn like button, bro. We ain't playing with y'all. I'm playing. I'm not. I'm playing. Hit the like button on the way out, man. It helps with the YouTube algorithms, all that, man. It helps us get seen, and we appreciate being seen.
Yeah.
Pass it up to my boy, man.
I mean, y'all kind of took part of my job. I was going to talk about what the bar room's got going on. I haven't listened to South Burbs Hitman, but I'm sure it's a fun show. Historically, a historic White Sox team on the south side of Chicago.
Let's not talk about that, please.
What? They made history, KB.
I don't give a goddamn. Don't talk about it, man. Don't talk
Well,
about
the Cubs didn't make the playoffs either, so I can't talk. Buffon 55 was a whole lot of fun on Wednesdays. I tuned in, and I feel like me and Danny Shimon got a whole lot in common. Every time I hear him talk, I'm like, yep, I agree. Yeah. Yep, I agree. Yep, I agree. So Buffon 55 was a whole lot of fun. Just like KB said, stay tuned for Tooch after this to tell you how to set your fantasy lineup before it's too late, because you got to get them in, before kickoffs. First and foremost, shout out to you guys. Oh, I got to do a score prediction and all that, huh? Oh, man.
Come on.
I got to tell y'all, man, I came into this today thinking I was going to be alone, only picking the Rams because it comes down to coaching. Sean McVay is an excellent coach, and Matthew Stafford is an excellent Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yep.
And as much as I trust our defense, when they're on the field so long, it becomes difficult to cover an offense that long, all day long, when your offense continues to get shut down and get shut down. It just breaks my heart to see that. Hopefully the Bears get their head out of their ass and at least keep it close. You know what? Screw it. Give me Bears 20, Rams
You
19. 1 point game. Bears win this one.
We're 3-point favorites in this game. Do you guys know that?
Just because we're at home, I don't know.
Well, we're at home, and the Rams are coming off a huge win against the 49ers. They've got to travel across country, and it's a 10 a.m. game for them.
You know what? You're right.
There's a lot of injuries. So I mean, what does that line say? Why are the Bears favored if they're so bad?
You know what? You talked me into it. Give me a Bears with a push, 23-20. So that's
they want people to take the Rams +3. I tell you right now, that's why Vegas set the line. I mean, Rams plus a field goal? Shit.
I think my MVP is going to be give me Tremaine Edmonds. I think he's going to be instrumental in shutting down.
He's got to.
Kyron Williams coming across the middle, doing those little Texas routes and stuff. So give me him as my MVP. And bold prediction is, and this is bold because I don't think Stafford throws a whole lot of picks. I think give me Tremaine Edmonds to get another pick today. He had a crazy one in the end zone last week.
That was a terrible pass, though. It's just like he wasn't even close to throwing it to his Pittman.
I think it got tipped. It got tipped in the air.
Okay.
Yeah, on the line. But I mean, our defense is awesome, dude. They come and they put in work all day long, and I'm so proud of the way our defense has played. Just got to see that a little bit on the offense. Give these dudes a break. Run the ball. Bottom line, run the ball. They should have ran the ball last week. They didn't. They get away from it. They threw the ball 52 times. Hopefully you learn from that and you come out and you get the dub today.
I do have there's 3 players for the Bears that are out, AC.
Who's that?
Terrell Smith, defensive back. Steven Carlson was placed on injured reserve. He's the 4th tight end. Zach Pickens is out with the groin injury. The rest of the guys are questionable. Billings with a knee. Keenan Allen should play. He's got a heel injury. The injuries that worry me are Kevin Byard's back and Darnell Wright both have back injuries. They're questionable. Montez Sweat has an elbow injury. He's questionable. Braxton Jones has the knee. That's another one that's, Well,
we watched Darnell Wright play last year, one armed basically.
Yep.
He'll if he can go, he's going.
A little different than a back, though.
I know, but I'm saying if he can get out there, it's going to take a lot to keep him from going out there.
They're going to shoot him up. Shoot up the pain pill, right? Pain shot right in there.
Yeah. So, but I'm KB already said Big Cuz is going today, so I'm not worried about that. He plays through. Everybody's hurt right now. It's who can play through it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the chat. They were on fire today. King Buka was in there.
Did you guys see the story about the Bears captains confronting Waldron?
They said they had a team meeting.
They had a team. They went to Waldron. This is Mercedes Lewis. Caleb Williams, DJ Moore, and I think Cole Kmet. The 4 of them went to Waldron. They voiced their complaints about the play calling, maybe the play design or offensive playbook. To me, my opinion is they should simplify the playbook for Caleb. We did it for Mitch.
They've been calling him out without calling him out to the media.
Yes,
all year. I mean, they asked Tevin Jenkins about stuff, and he's like, and even the center, Coleman Shelton was like, "Look, we just do our best to execute what's called." So they've been calling out play calling all year. Finally, I guess it hit its head in Indianapolis, and they realized that they lost the game that they should have won. Especially the way the defense played, giving you all those.
This
chances.
Early in the season, if we're having team, guys are going and complaining to the offensive coordinator, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, it's probably not.
Do I want him to turn it around? Sure, but we don't have the right guys, our coaches. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
So, all right, Barlissimo, you got me distracted here. Drafted a UK player. I'm wondering if you went O-line, did you go Eli Cox on the offensive line? That's our center at Kentucky, or I'll stay looking in the chat for that. But, shout out to the chat. Shout out to you guys for coming on here with me every Sunday to talk Bears football, win, lose, or draw, sunshine, rain, snow, sleet, all that stuff. I appreciate y'all for real coming on here and helping me on my I don't pay for therapy. This is my therapy session right here.
Yeah, mine too.
So I get to come on here and talk He says D-line. I wonder if it's Deion Walker. Watch out for him. He'll be a top 10 draft pick this year. Yeah, but I mean, until next week, y'all, we'll just leave them with a bear down.
Bear down.
Bear down.